BPod Studios.
It's half what you're used to.
True. This is absolutely true.
Half Hardy.
What had happened was...
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
It's unbelievable.
Dutcher and Hardy. Mornings, the Sports Hub.
All right. Hey, we're Dutcher and Hardy, and we're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Dave Richard, our good friend Dave Richard, is the senior fantasy writer for CBSSports.com, but he's down at the Senior Bowl, which is happening now, where future Patriots, the Patriots love the Senior Bowl. They're big Senior Bowl guys. Cole Strange. They love the Senior Bowl. Dave joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. The Jets' defensive coordinator is one of the Senior Bowl coaches. He's taking care of business down there. Dave Richard, hello, sir.
As I was walking by the Patriots coaches and scouts that were huddling after the second practice yesterday, my thought went to the only logical place that it could go, and that's Fred Tutcher's fantasy football team. Yeah. And whether or not they're going to draft anybody in New England that's going to help Fred finally take down the championship in his challenging league. But they are here in full force. They do love the Senior Bowl, and I saw them firsthand, all getting together in the stands, going over who they liked, who they didn't like. I did not catch any names. It wasn't my place to stand there and eavesdrop on them, but they are here in full force, as you said.
Hey, Dave.
Let me just say this real quick before you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Hardy, but just to let everyone know, the Senior Bowl is really like the football writers and broadcasters Super Bowl, in that this is the biggest party of the year. They are there. Dave is there, and he's telling you, I saw he's covering his ass because he's saying, I saw the Patriots coaches. But Breer has told us this is the biggest party for you guys, is it not?
Well, I'd love to say yes to that, but I passed out after practice yesterday and woke up 3 hours later and ended up not going out the first night possible. So I'm going to make up for it tonight. I will definitely go out tonight, and then I leave Thursday after practice. It's a pretty big party, though, by and large. A lot of people getting together and, talking football, having fun, all that good stuff.
It's called networking. Breer says that he has to go because it's the one time the coaches let their hair down. So you're like, Breer has said this to me, and I guess he's not lying, is that, you will go out to a bar, everyone's because you're in Mobile, everyone's kind of at the same places, and you'll catch a Josh McDaniels, for instance, and he'll be off the record open with you. They've had a few pops. And they're speaking you open. They're not speaking to you like the enemy. But it's a safe space,
the entire Pro Bowl, or the Senior Bowl, whatever.
And it's a place where men can experiment.
So, Dave, I just joined the show this year, but I've been listening to you for years with Fred. And I could have sworn at the end of, this last fantasy season, you offered up, a service where you were going to, handle one of his fantasy football teams, the drafting and the trading throughout the entire season. Did I hear that correctly? And that doesn't seem like it's above board. That seems like
I've been offering it for years, Hardy, and the problem is that Fred never takes me up on it. So I think Fred wants to actually win his fantasy league on his own. The problem is that he doesn't usually put in the effort necessary to do it. Yeah, we love playing fantasy football. This is for everybody. We love playing fantasy football with people who run to the convenience store before their draft, grab a magazine that was printed in June, and then using that magazine to base their draft picks on. Fred isn't quite that bad. I'm pretty sure he picks off our rankings. If he even doesn't use the auto draft, he picks off our rankings.
I pick off your rankings. I use CBSSports.com's rankings. I use Dave's rankings. But Dave has offered me, he's like, why don't you take a picture of your roster? Or but I don't want to bother him. I don't the guy like Dave, and he's nice enough to do the show. I don't want to bother him.
He's taking
further.
3-hour naps on a Tuesday. I don't think he's going to be bothered by it.
But he's in Mobile, isn't he? And he's a national guy. He doesn't need the likes of me bothering him. What if every show
I don't think they're going to call me and go on 15-minute diatribes over your fantasy football team.
No.
I think he'll call me and say, hey. But the problem is that when we talk on Thursday, you're asking me, who do I pick up off the waiver wire? You're 48 hours late, Bob.
Yeah.
Everybody else, and Lockhart, I think of Lockhart especially, and that dude is an absolute shark when it comes to fantasy football. And so if he's the type of guy that you're playing, Wallach is in that same vein. If those are the guys you're playing against, you're behind already if you're making moves on Thursday.
Yeah, Wallach,
I'll go through names. And say, now I'm the one on the diatribe. I'll go through names, and then, I'll say 4 names, and you're like, they're all taken. And then I got to give you a name that, no one's picking up, and then you pick them up, and then maybe they luck into something good or not. But that's the cardinal sin that you make. It's the cardinal sin that everybody makes, is they don't pay attention after the draft. You've got to go and make ad drops all season long, every single week. You got to be committed to improving your fantasy team.
Well, maybe we should have you on earlier than Thursday because John napalms everything and just takes a bunch of people and a prick and like a blocking tactic.
Try to improve my team.
Like he's
week,
the try hard that does too much, and then you're like,
lost to Lockhart by 1 point in the playoffs.
You're like, who's this dick? Like at least try to be a little cool, Fonzie. You dumb bird.
Well,
all right.
If he's not going to take you up on it, I will.
All right. Would you? So there's a school of thought, and this is an opinion. I'm not asking you any insider information, but that you take Marvin Harrison with the 3rd pick of the draft, and you wait till the 2nd round to take a quarterback. There's a couple quarterbacks there that probably will be available in the 2nd round, beginning of the 2nd round in Penix. Or Penix certainly, but what are you thinking about that? Where do you think the elite quarterbacks that could get taken at the top of the draft, how they compare to the kids that might be there in the 2nd round?
I think there's a clear difference. I think the guys that are going to be taken early in the draft, they're going to have better traits and skills than the majority of the quarterbacks, for example, that are here at the Senior Bowl. Penix looked good, and he's the only guy that I've really dug deep on because the NFL season just ended. I haven't had the time to go and look into Caleb Williams and all that stuff. I've got a little bit of a life outside of football.
How dare you?
But Penix is 24. He's got a great arm, but he's got this rash of knee injuries and shoulder injuries too, that have kept him in the college football program for 6 seasons. And he also doesn't do great under pressure. He doesn't necessarily take a lot of sacks, but he does struggle a little bit to find the open guy when pressure's on him. He's got to overcome those 2 things. Now, if an NFL team, if their doctors are comfortable with his health and they're okay trying to make him a better quarterback under pressure, he's not going to be there in the 2nd round. He's going to be a first-round pick. The Patriots would have to go and trade back into round 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up going as a mid-round 1 pick because a team will be desperate enough to go and get a quarterback. Quarterbacks always get pushed up anyway. I mean, Matt Jones
take him
15th overall.
I know. And would you take him over J.J. McCarthy? Just you. I know this isn't your expertise, but just you. You're at the Senior Bowl after all. I know J.J. McCarthy's a junior, but would you take him over J.J. McCarthy, Penix Jr.?
Just no, I haven't done my due diligence.
I understand but you are in Mobile, Alabama.
Sure,
and someone's paying
I'm going
you.
to answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm just qualifying my answer, man. I would take Penix over McCarthy.
Whoa!
Really, there is a factor there. If the system is going to be kind of what the 49ers are doing, then maybe it's worth it to let somebody else take Penix early and then get McCarthy, say, with one of the top picks in round 2. So McCarthy is probably going to be that type of target where if we're following the Fred Toucher GM game plan of taking Marvin Harrison first.
No. No,
we're all in agreement on this.
No. You can get
quarterback.
We've seen. You can get good receivers in the 2nd round. You can get good and that's a position of strength in every draft. And it's not like the next draft's not going to be short on receivers either.
No,
Dave, there's good receivers in every draft, right? They're just churning them out of college now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's true. There's 8 great receivers down here. And, the best receivers in the draft aren't even here. Harrison and Odunze and all those guys.
So of the 5 that you ranked yesterday, where do those guys project? And are these going to be 2nd round guys, 3rd round guys? and you rank the receivers and the running backs and the quarterbacks that are there. But out of those 5 receivers you were talking about yesterday, where do they go, do you think?
They're going to go anywhere from round 2 to round 4. I think that's just the kind of range that they're in. The majority of them would be day 2 picks, meaning rounds 2 and 3. And maybe I'm just covering myself with 1 or 2 guys sliding into the top of day 3, which is round 4. But the name that I would keep in mind, and go and take a look at him if you want to, go to YouTube and watch his highlights, is Roman Wilson from Michigan. It's an offense that didn't throw a lot, so his numbers aren't going to wow you. But this dude can get open. He runs routes like a veteran. He knows how to get open against zone coverage. He's got good hands. Little undersized, and maybe he doesn't have that top-end speed that you look for from wide receivers, but he's a reliable type of wide receiver who can absolutely make plays at the next level. I really liked him the most out of all the receivers that are in Mobile.
All right. Listen, Dave Richard, go out, enjoy the intermingling with the others of your kind, the football writer, and glean some information and network, as you are prone to do.
That's what I'm here to do.
All right, Dave. Dave Richard, read him. He's at the Senior Bowl. You can follow him on Twitter. Dave, thank you so much.
You got it, guys.
All right. I was a little taken aback because I got a letter from a guy who's a diaper guy.
No.
And you got it too. Because we're doing the email bit next. And I usually can I can do 2 things at once.
Oh, this is the one you answered?
No. This is just a guy. I don't know if I want to read it on the air.
I'm going to let's read it during the break and then we'll decide.
Yeah. Because it's like a really heartfelt thing about one. This is all anonymous right now. So it's like this. You have to understand, this is something I do during the show. Like, if we have a guest on and Hardy's asking a question, like, I'll start thinking about the next bit.
Yeah.
So I'm just, like, rattling through emails, like, whatever. We get a lot of them now because we're talking about the emails. And there's this, like, really sincere one for this diaper guy. Like, about, like... Oh, boy. Like, it's like a heartfelt, like, I love diaper, like, being in a diaper.
Oh.
Like, it's easy to poke fun at people in diapers, but, like, I'm this super diaper guy. But he doesn't know that Hardy and I certainly I can say that I'm not, I think it's funny. Mm-hmm. But I did think that you should be able to do it.
Well,
if you want to do it, you should be able to do it. And I did say, like, why would you not want that in the neighborhood? Because, like, you have something on these people. But he can't. We're never going to get to a place, John, where there's not a little stigma attached to dressing like an infant.
I would agree.
And being coddled like an infant. Mm-hmm. We're going to accept it, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to accept it. But that it exists and that you have a right to do it, but it's going to be very difficult to just, let's be honest, I'm 49. In my lifetime, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to a place where I'm just like I think it's a little goofy that you're dressed like an infant and you're being put baby powder and they're wiping you.
Sure.
This is going to always be odd to me. Yes, Hardy, you seem to be holding something in.
No. Have
you reviewed it further than I have?
I have. There's a lot of discussion of those who identify as ABDLs, which I believe is adult baby diaper lovers.
Hachimachi.
That's really impressive. You just pulled that out like that.
Now.
That's pretty good.
You know what you are? TCOB, taking care of business.
Well, I need to do a deep dive on this email during the break.
It might be pulling the veil too far off. It might be destroying the humor. It'd be like when they did the Eli Porter documentary and then it got no fun anymore. I can tell you now, we truly have a large audience. If we got a sincere letter from a diaper lover, then we have a very large audience. And the man feels safe enough telling us that he loves diapers.
I'd rather get into Kevin's email, who has a great idea
we're doing
for
that,
us.
and this guy would win.
All right.
This guy might win. Well, we're getting. I sent that to my real email, so I sent that. I have that one raring to go.
Okay, good.
All right, we'll be right back.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Lainey Wilson is on a roll. She's delivering great music and teaming up with some of country's hottest acts. Text Lainey to 45911 to see which 4 Lainey Wilson collabs have us talking at BackstageCountry.com. Text Lainey to 45911 to get a link to the list sent right to your phone from BackstageCountry.com.
Sports Hub. Now, more Tuncher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, Nicholas loves emails. He wants to get his emails in. How do people email you? How do you just? Is it what is your email address? How do people email you, John?
Oh, I thought you were talking about to Nick, John.Wallach at bbgi.com.
See, mine's just Toucher at 98.5
No.
the sports.
And you spelled John Jon.
Yes, Jon.
Oh,
What's wrong with Jon?
Your parents are really. Why wouldn't they name you something different then? If they were just going to call you John, they got to make it different by taking the H out. What pricks? How old are they? Not much time left, right?
They're in their 80s, yes.
So are mine. Death? Did they talk about death a lot?
No.
Yeah, mine did.
No, my
mom.
not.
My mom's real into it. All right, go ahead.
Hardy at 98.5thesportsup.com.
Yeah, there's got to be something that they can just Wallach at 98.5thesportsup.com instead of john.wallach at bbgi.com. That's crazy. Yeah. All right, well, anyway, I didn't realize that Hardy...
Hang on a second, Fred. Do you know what his other email address, his personal email address is?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible. John, I'm not going to say it, but...
I didn't make that. I did not make that up.
It's worse than Ken Griffey rules.
I was just about to say, if you think... I've made fun of it in conversation with him for a long time. You think that got by me? His stupid... He's got this really dumb email address that is aggravating.
Why is it
It's the only one he checks.
Oh, John, you know it's aggravating. Come on.
All right.
Well, I don't...
It's corny.
I don't pine on it, John, but it's annoying the first time you see it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
God, people are unbelievable. And it's all your fault, it's not mine. What, this bothers you? Not like every day, but the first time I saw it, it bugged me.
It seems like it bothers you. It seems like you're bothered.
No, his reaction bothers me. All right, so here we go. This is from Kevin, and it's a great idea. This is a great idea. So yesterday we highlighted a place in New Hampshire that is for adult men who like, I let's just say men, because this seems like women are above this. They want to be treated like babies. Like, and they get wiped and everything else. And it's a lot of money, and you can do it for 24 hours. And it's a woman who seems nice has this place. It's not a whorehouse. And it says, hey, guys, hey. With the advent of the new show, Toucher and Hardy, you should have a contest to offer a free stay at the diaper spa in New Hampshire. You could have multiple rounds, with the first being people calling why they deserve to go, and the second round having them come to the station in diapers, with the fans being able to vote. Also, you can have the bartender help you moderate the discussion between diaper contestants, which is, this makes me want to hire this guy, because the bartender thing, Alex Barth, who had the most uncomfortable moment in the history of the radio station that was organic, that wasn't meant to be uncomfortable. He just, if you don't know, Alex Barth is a football guy, and he opened up the lines for people just to ask him everything, and a guy called in and asked if he should come out gay to his parents, which threw him for a loop of loops. Like, he couldn't handle it. So having Alex Barth in here while adult men were in diapers would be, that were sincerely into it, would be a joy. So Hardy and I have talked about it, and we're going to run it by management. I don't think they're going to let us do it, but why not do it? Having sincere diaper lovers in here, and the prize being you got 24 hours, which is not cheap, at this diaper spa in New Hampshire, would be a glorious event. And Alex Barth being in here while they made caca and wee would be something else. It's a legal establishment. I got to think they could make it happen, right? Maybe we go to C-Cloth. Maybe that's the guy that we go to. Brian.
Schneecloth.
Yes, I call him C-Cloth.
Seat-cloth?
I call him C-Cloth. Like he's seeing cloth.
Okay.
That's how I remember it. That's how I remember the vague pronunciation of his name. These are the hoops I have to jump through to get things through. I say C-Cloth. I know Brian. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, so
do you want to do the one?
I'm gonna do a portion of it. We got an email from someone who said, I just watched an episode where you and your co-host basically bullied and belittled people who are afflicted with an attraction to diapers and those who identify as ABDLs.
He calls afflicted.
Afflicted, ABDL.
Like it's an affliction. When shouldn't he be celebrating it?
Yeah,
like you're not
that's
afflicted.
a negative connotation.
Yeah, like are you
Yeah.
afflicted with it?
You don't understand. A lot of these people are often victims of abuse and trauma. They don't ask to be attracted to these things. If you're capable, he's very condescending in this email, Fred. And maybe we too were condescending yesterday.
Oh,
but,
to adult babies that were paying for to be wiped and put talcum powder. And I don't think you even need talcum powder, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll get to that when we go through the services here in a moment. If you are capable, parentheses, I doubt you are.
Yeah, well, you're correct.
Try to imagine what it must be like to be a young child with a bizarre attraction to wearing diapers.
I cut out the Brenda Starr comics and fantasized to them when I was a young child. Cartoons.
And by the way, it's 21 and over at the diaper spa, so the young children here, just stop. To the public, this all might seem, I'm paraphrasing here,
The public.
quite strange, but to them, they are simply trying to make the best of something they didn't ask for or want.
Wait a second. Now I can conceptualize it. He's telling us that they want to be treated like babies and we don't understand and think it's funny.
But as a result of some childhood trauma,
All right.
perhaps you were forced back into diapers at an older age. I would question, and again, not a doctor, but I would question if somebody has some attraction to wearing diapers because of a trauma at an early age and they were forced back into diapers. Is the best therapy to be allowed to wear diapers and to go into the spa-like nursery?
Or should every king be indulged? And I don't even judge that. I think that you should be able to do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do it, but I mean, you're asking a lot to me not to think it's funny. I mean, that's asking a lot.
I don't expect to
Like
reply
acceptance
to this.
is accepting in going like I don't have a problem. Like I told you guys, if this place was in my neighborhood, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't think it brings in a bad element, like a dangerous element. So isn't that's pretty accepting? I'm being dead serious. That's pretty accepting,
Yes,
right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Like you can't. It's asking too much not to think it's funny, right? Like it's funny. Like you're an adult. I mean, it's conceptually funny. It's the definition of funny. It's a fish out of water. It's a adult male being treated like a baby with baby accoutrements, like diapers and pacifiers. Not to be finding it funny would be to find it horrifying. So wouldn't you want it to be found a little bit funny? Like if everyone just kind of laughed it off, it's like, oh yeah, Bob likes to be like an infant, and like it helps him get through the day. In like twice a week, he goes to the infant place and puts on the bonnet and everything else, and then he goes about his business. Isn't that better than the alternative, which is to be horrified and not want the business in your town and to vilify these people? I think that the compromise of finding it funny is a pretty good compromise. I'm standing by that. If like the diaper people come after me, I got to stand by that. I got it. You can only ask so much of people. Maybe like in 19 generations. Maybe like if one time like Kanye or something likes being treated like a baby and it becomes like cool. But you're asking a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't expect to reply to this, and I doubt you'll even finish reading this or even try to understand any of it.
Highly of it.
You seem to lack the human capacity for empathy or compassion.
I have empathy and compassion. I think it should be able to exist, but I do think that you can't ask us not to think it's weird.
These people are outsiders, and indeed it may seem strange to many, but the ignorance and willingness to not dig deeper or consider what is really going on is really startling. I'm sure you know of some truly wonderful people in your life who have their own issues, or maybe even yourself. So Fred, you're not admitting to your own issues is your problem.
No, I think I've admitted quite enough to my own issues, and I don't doubt everyone has issues. Everyone has issues. Our brains are all wired pretty much the same way. But if you're indulging in the baby thing, I think you have every right to do it, but you can't tell me not to think it's funny. That's just too much to ask. It's funny. It's funny.
So
it's harmless and funny. It's consenting adults, one treating the other one like a baby.
I'm trying to think of like an analogy where we wouldn't
get in trouble.
No, it's like you wouldn't ask somebody who is not an alcoholic to go into rehab for a day and
drink a lot,
or laugh at all the people who aren't drinking or find it odd. I think it would be a really interesting exercise to talk to some people who are intrigued by this, who actually want to do, say, a 1-hour spa-like nursery experience for the little one inside you that provides a warm, safe, and nurturing environment while you indulge in relaxation and self-care. It's a minimum 2 hours session. We're going to have to come up with $600 to book it for one lucky listener. But I say we get some contestants in and we try and figure out who gets to go.
See, my idea, but you got to have like fun with it. You got to be like a fun guy, like that. Just like, yeah, I love it. Like
Serious.
Unapologetic,
Right.
Not woe is me. Like I just love being in a diaper.
Yeah.
Like I like it.
Right.
Like not like, oh, I got to indulge in this or I'm gonna like. No, this isn't like a lifestyle. This is like you like to go in there and then it's fun to be treated like a baby for a little while and then you go off about your business and rule the world. Like you go into the operating room after. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you go to you settle the Gomez trial after it's over. Like, you go and you win the mayor of Connecticut. Because the mayor of Connecticut, Bobby V.
Close enough.
But to me, I do still kind of question the therapy. If you're a drug addict, imagine a spa where you just go in and they give you a bunch of drugs.
I would try to get over the issues that make me want
I would try to, you're an adult baby or a diaper lover. Okay. What another
why do you
form-
feel this way? Let's try to get past this so you don't have to indulge in this behavior.
No. You're fine to feel this way. Come on in, put on a diaper and lay around in a crib.
Yeah,
and there's some people who may want to do that, and for those people, this is a place for you. I feel we should have someone go do it.
Well, I would like it, but that's you're going to have to get it to the Beasleys and see if they're all.
I don't think there's any need to involve them in this.
Do you think that Dave and Chuck the Freak could get the diaper thing happening?
I think they read the kicker story and then just move on to the next one.
You don't think they put this kind of effort into it?
I think it's just it's on to the next story of the day.
No.
You got to keep it pretty evergreen because it's for a national audience.
That's right.
All right. Well, there you go. So, a lot of heat from the diaper. A lot of diaper heat. I got diaper rash.
Mm-hmm.
I needed some soothing balm, Mama. You think AC Slater was a diaper guy? He called Jessie Mama.
Good point.
He always called her. He goes, "Hey, Mama." Like, do you think, "Hey, Mama," like I've been a bad boy? Like, "Hey, Mama, I made caca." Like, "Hey, Mama, rock me to sleep, Mama." That's why she was on those pills. He was keeping her up all night, crying.
She was so excited.
She was so scared and then she accepted him. All right. Is this a diaper lover on the phone?
Oh, please.
Robert lives right down the street. Robert, you live right down the street from the diaper spa?
Yeah, right around the corner from it. And the town's not too happy about it, or the locals aren't. But
why?
I think the point you guys are... Why?
Yeah, why do you care?
Well, but I think the point you guys are missing is men are going to go in there, get naked. She's going to diaper them. Isn't that kind of borderline crossing the line towards prostitution?
I'm not here to judge anyone. I don't know what goes on at the diaper spa, but are you afraid that they're going to come after you?
No, it's just the town we live in. It's not something that really people want up here.
I can't imagine it would be anything that would help home and property values. But having a diaper spa nearby.
But the thing is that no one's not going to buy a house because there's a diaper spa in the vicinity.
Yeah, might. If you're across the street, what is that over
Once
there?
you fall in love with the bones of a house, you're not going to start judging everything in the neighborhood. You got to go by instinct.
There's a diaper spa across the street, but look at this foundation.
But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a liquor store or a diaper spa?
Probably a liquor store.
Really? With at 8 a.m, drunks coming into the liquor store?
I take the diaper spa.
Yeah.
I might take the diaper spa, my friend.
Diaper spa.
I would.
Yeah.
For property value, let's be serious. A diaper spa is probably a small operation. You want a big circus liquors right across the street? All right, Robert, I understand what you're saying.
Thanks.
Though.
Thanks.
There you go, Robert.
Okay.
He wants us to get into the town hall aspect of it. We just want to support the business. I really wouldn't have a problem if the diaper spot was down the
I
street
want
from me.
this to be a thing in life. Contrary to the emailer who says we're not capable of empathy or sympathy or anything else.
With all the hassles of buying a house and everything that goes into everything, you think that like the diaper spa is really going to be the thing that knocks it out? Like that you're not going to buy the place? Come on.
A massive criminal element moving into your town if it happens to be there.
No, it's
these are adult babies.
Yeah, I mean, if
Seriously.
anything, they're just innocent. They're overly innocent. Too fragile for this world.
We're not talking about Babyface Nelson. We're talking about baby. An
We're talking-
adult
like,
baby.
Yeah, you would think that they are the most vulnerable of all of us. The adult baby. They're stripped down to the very essence. I mean, they can't even clean themselves properly.
There's another story from New Hampshire we have to get to in the stack here about a woman who suffered some injuries while just trying to do a normal household chore. Also, Jodie Foster, who is in the new season of True
JFA,
Detective.
one of the horrible hardcore bands of the skate era. Jodie Foster's Army,
Oh, yeah.
JFA.
Yeah.
You ever try to listen to one of them albums recently?
No,
Not good.
No. But she's in the new season of True Detective, which is very good. She has a recommendation for a movie she thinks everyone should watch, and it is the last one I would think of, but that's what she says.
Yep. It's called I'm an Adult Baby. All right, we will be back in just a moment here.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Country music has so many generous artists who always seem to jump in to help those in need. We're spotlighting 5 who lead by example and lend a helping hand to charitable causes. See who made our list when you text GIVE to 45911. Text GIVE to 45911 and read all about it right now on BackstageCountry.com.
We're back with Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
I was sharing this with John off the air because I'm a good guy, and anytime I do anything that's nice, I share it on the air so I get credit for it. Esoteric says, forgive me, I can't help but ask, what's John's annoying email address? Well, it's hot.
Wallach's giving you a look. I wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to do it. You thought I was going to do it, didn't you, Johnny
started
boy?
to do it.
I did think you were going to do it.
I wasn't going to do it. Crash Clark, ironically, because John took his job, Crash Clark is a huge fan of Johnny Wallgame.
That was very nice what he
on
said.
the new show. He reached out to me. Crash is probably listening right now. Crash listens every day.
Crash, thank you. Very nice things you said.
The old 99X that I worked for asked Crash to work for free, without compensation, for fun. They asked him for his services, which is what the Newton School Board is asking from the teachers. They're like, just come in for fun. No, they're offering them commensurate pay to the other school districts. All right, go ahead.
60-year-old woman.
There's still no school in Newton, by the way.
Right.
Day 72.
I haven't said anything about it today.
Yeah.
Keep honking. Go ahead.
Keep celebrating.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're so happy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Everyone's got a big old smile on their face.
It's a good time.
Just maybe don't smile. Maybe take it. Maybe it's not like a celebration at this point.
Why does it look like Mardi Gras? That's the part I don't
It's
get.
just the optics are bad, and I don't care about the issues at all. The optics are terrible. Just optically, you suck. You pussied out all COVID. Let's. Don't. I started. I shouldn't have said it.
All
right.
Whoa. A 60-year-old woman.
Let's be honest. In retrospect, in hindsight, it wasn't a little bit much with the COVID. All right, go ahead.
I don't even know if it was their call.
They didn't help things. Go ahead.
A 60-year-old woman rescued from inside a garbage truck. She
Yes. You figured the code. She finally cracked the code. The puzzle has been completed. How do I get myself? I'm human waste. Get me. Or I'm trash. I'm trash. That's what I'm saying. I'm trash with a soul. Throw me where I belong and take me to the dump. For so long, I've been taking myself to the dump or taking an Uber.
She fell into a dumpster outside her home in New Hampshire. She was found injured after being
whoopsies
compacted in the truck at least 4 times.
Who hasn't pleasured themselves to Star Wars?
She was trying to throw out a bag of trash. I just got that. It is unknown
how many times have I put myself to the brink of suffocation? Throw me away.
It is unknown how long she remained inside the truck before
Not long enough.
Noticed by the driver on the internal camera.
Get away. The camera? There's no privacy anywhere. There's a camera in the back of the trash car?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I knew that. I didn't know that.
There's tattlers on everything.
He called 911. They rescued the woman with the help of specialized equipment to cut through the metal and remove compacted debris. She was taken out. It took 30 minutes.
My club name,
to
compacted
extract her from the compacted trash that had trapped her inside the back of the truck.
Oh, I'm just contracted debris. Put me in a diaper and call me Gaga. Kick me out of your neighborhood.
Firefighters still examining how the incident happened. The woman was in agony and not alert enough to answer the official's
Hardy,
questions.
I am going to finish. More description of her mental state.
She said she felt like trash.
Oh, the heaven. The heaven. She felt like trash.
She didn't say that. She hasn't said anything. She's very, very hurt.
Oh, yeah.
She's very injured.
Oh, yeah, baby. Hot dog.
Let's
discarded hot dog.
Let's see if you can guess, unless you already know.
I'd probably not.
What movie Jodie Foster says, okay, everybody should watch.
Which has a scene in the, you got to watch it on DVD. Because in the theatrical release, it didn't have the funniest scene.
Actor recently,
you know the scene I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A new feature in an interview. Jodie Foster said what movie she thinks everyone needs to. She said, well, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's probably number 1. Which, by the way, have you seen that?
Any Which Way But Loose? Yeah, where he fights the orangutan.
Philo Beto, right? That's the name of the character?
That's Any Which Way You Can.
Oh.
No,
okay.
it's Every Which Way But Loose. I rewatched a good portion of that the other day, though.
Any Which Way But Loose starts with our hero being a psychopath, like the definition of a psychopath. He just gets in a barroom fight for no reason.
Oh, I thought it was because he went for a jog with no shirt and corduroys. That's it. He's I'm going to go for a run. Right. He strips his shirt off. He's wearing corduroy pants and running shoes, and he just goes out for a run.
Sometimes I see dudes playing soccer like that.
Yes.
They take off the shirt, but they keep the jeans on.
The other one is
park. That's park soccer.
Yeah, it's park soccer. That's a uniform.
That's just like lunch break soccer.
Yep.
The other movie that Jodie Foster recommends everyone should see. It's not animated. It is puppets. Marionettes.
Yep.
Marionettes. Any idea what that would be, Wallach?
No.
Team America World Police.
Huh.
The 2004 Trey Parker, South Park co-creator, about the counter-terrorist police force that has to save the world from Kim Jong evil.
You know what's funny is that next to Goodfellas, that movie is the second most popular with that's my favorite movie people. Like when you ask people their favorite movie, you'll get a sneaky amount of Team America World Police. It's either Goodfellas or that, in my experience.
Yeah, I don't know that I can count it as one of my favorites, and it's one of the...
I've only seen it once.
I think I've seen it twice.
And I only remember the real dirty extra scene that I thought was really funny, but that's like all I remember. That's the danger of having that kind of scene in a movie. I can't describe the scene because it would be getting me in trouble, but it's glorious.
By the way, David Letterman has an opinion on the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce thing. Do you think he is pro Travis and Taylor or anti the whole thing?
Well, of course he's anti. They're having a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a public figure at a public event.
Yeah,
Letterman's message to their detractors: shut up. I don't think in the history of show business or the history of popular culture we've ever witnessed anything like this. Tremendous. She fills stadiums around the world and puts on a 3-hour show. We live in a world now where all we hear is nonsense and ugliness. The nonsense can't be any more nonsensical, and the ugliness, God hopes it can't get any uglier. That's all we hear. So now here's Taylor Swift, who is a glowing bright light of goodness in the world, and she starts dating.
It's funny. Go, read it.
And she starts dating Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. And what's great is that in this message, even Hardy didn't get the joke, which is that he misidentifies Travis Kelce as Kelsey Grammer, which is the point of his statement. And even the site that you're reading it from doesn't get that he's kidding.
We suppose Letterman's more of a movie guy than a football guy, jokingly mistaking the Chiefs tight end.
Mm.
Well, I think he meant to do that on purpose. I think you're right, Fred. Anyone interested in a Michael Jackson movie about his life? Is that something that is any way, shape, or form going to be done correctly, or that you want to watch?
No, it would be horrifying.
No.
If it was like nuts and bolts of his weirdness, it would be real creepy. I
Well,
wouldn't like it at all. There's too much an undertone.
According to Variety, Nia Long is going to play Michael Jackson's mom in the Michael Jackson biopic. And
Nia Long.
expected to chronicle the singer's complicated legacy. Story will portray a brilliant yet complicated man.
No one understands him but his woman. Every time I think of Kelsey Grammer, I just think about how his ex-wife was the spokesperson for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
It sticks with you. She was a brave lady to do that, because every time I think of Kelsey Grammer, I think he was married to an attractive woman who was very vocal about her
you can
IBS.
sympathize with the IBS people, and you can empathize with them. You're not making fun of them.
I don't think I said anything making fun of him. I think
See?
you're correct.
Yeah. I think I find you to be a sympathetic and empathetic individual, unlike what the emailer said about both of us.
You know what you have to do, Hardy, is sometimes you have to be humiliated to experience humility.
I had that stitched on a pillow after I heard you say it. All right. We done?
Just let it ride. When I say something of depth and then Ass Man comes on, it wraps it all up in a bow. Scott Zolak has got many endorsements. He was just shooting one.
Oh, for the Mass State Lottery?
For the Mass State Lottery. What's that say?
It says lottery.
I got new instant scratch tickets. You win up to $1 million for life.
$1 million for life?
$50,000 winners. They got all kinds.
But then is the
10,000.
Mass Lottery going to be coming after me as soon as I win, knowing that they could get out of this whole affair if my life ends?
My neighbor got me a scratch ticket for my birthday last year. I scratched it, got $500 like that.
But it's like putting $1 million bounty on my head. Like that the government's just going to want to take me out because they won't have to pay the $1 million.
You give it to your
anymore.
ex-wife.
She deserves every penny she gets. She put up with this old sack of crap for too long. Mm-hmm. All right. That'll end one day. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.